monster bug war, there are all kinds of killers. The callous, the cold-blooded.
Grab onto the prey, hold it, and tear it apart.
And the truly terrifying.
They can tear things apart using the claws.
But the scariest of all are the calculating killers who leave nothing to chance. Every day, billions of bugs fight millions of individual battles to feed and breed. But every now and then, two tribes will wage an epic war where there's just one outcome: carnage. When an army of green ants marches against a swarm of paper wasps, it's a battle worthy of the big screen. Above the ground, a high-rise militia goes through its maneuvers. Its headquarters is a leafy bunker, home not to generals, but to green ant larvae, who could one day become soldiers in an ever-expanding army.
Green ant colonies are generally spread around a dozen trees that might contain up to 150 nests, with 100,000 to 500,000 ants total, all of which will risk life and limb to protect the colony.
Every one of these workers comes equipped with weapons of war, serrated mandibles that cut and crush. As in all ant societies, male drones stay at home, leaving this army of sterile females to forage for food. But at the first sign of war, chemicals called pheromones are sent out. Foragers become green grunts, and more move into the kill zone. Even a huge and highly venomous scorpion is no match for a company of angry green ants.
For green ants, defense is all about strength in numbers. They will just keep sending more and more troops out until whatever they're battling with is either gone or they kill it and carry it away for dinner.
Green ants also deploy chemical weaponry. Formic acid that burns organic tissue sprays from their abdomens. If that weren't bad enough, they swarm over a victim, literally biting it to death. A grasshopper many times bigger than one ant is no match for a seething mass of foot soldiers.
When the workers are called to arms, you're no longer dealing with a bunch of cute and fascinating little green ants. Rather, they become like this unstoppable organic plasma that can deter any predator, whether it's coming from the ground or the air.
Victims become helpless marionettes, dancing to the tune of a swarm of single-minded puppeteers. Below this treetop bunker, with its elite soldiers, another force has moved in. A colony of paper wasps. In a skirmish, they use their aerial maneuverability like a weapon. Paper wasps don't fly fast, but they hover with intent, like attack helicopters, waiting to strike and feed.
Paper wasps are really important because they kill so many pest species of caterpillars. The adults are active for anywhere from 2 weeks to maybe 3 weeks. They spend all of their time going out and foraging to kill the caterpillars.
Like the ants, most of the wasp foraging force are sterile females, with heavy artillery at the front and some big guns at the rear.
Unlike bees that can only sting once, these wasps can sting repeatedly.
But paper wasps don't rely just on firepower. They have tactical coordination down to a fine art.
Wasps are actually really smart. They're capable of complex learning. They've got excellent vision.
Like green ants, adult paper wasps hunt and kill only to feed their larvae. Their own survival depends on it. Wasps feed the larvae with captured caterpillars. In turn, the larvae produce nutrient-rich saliva that's fed back to the adults. Life goes on in the paper wasp nest and the green ant colony. It's live and let live. But nature is fickle. One unfortunate windstorm can smash one bug civilization up against another without warning.
This is two insect civilizations at war. And no matter who wins, both sides are going to suffer massive losses.
In the rainforest, it's the calm before the storm. But as the weather worsens, a tree branch, home to a green ant colony, is flung against a paper wasp nest. War is declared. Wasps mobilize their airborne troops. Gangs of green ants swarm over individual wasps.
Green ants have a major tactical advantage here because they can team up very efficiently against an individual wasp, but the wasps can't work together against an individual ant.
The ants lay pheromone trails and shake their bodies to communicate and coordinate their attack. Without the ants' superior teamwork, the wasps are at a disadvantage. But one-on-one, a larger wasp overpowers a single ant. Some are thrown to the ground, others killed instantly. But in ant battle tactics, strength lies in numbers. Individual wasps are pinned down, sprayed with formic acid, and bitten ferociously. Alone, they have no answer to a combined attack.
The wasps are so much larger than the ants, and they're not cooperating the same way. They're all actively defending the area, but the ants are able to gang up and pull on different legs, so an individual wasp may have multiple ants attacking it.
A raiding party of green ants bursts into the paper wasp nursery. Here, wasp guards defend their larvae by biting and stinging.
The wasp's sting is great against bigger animals, but it's pretty hard for a wasp to effectively sting one ant. And even though wasps are able to sting repeatedly, it's really hard for them to sting one ant, sting another ant, sting another ant.
The green ants may have the upper hand, but now the wasps retaliate. Mounting a concerted airborne attack, they breach the ants' headquarters and began carrying off the ant brood. More and more wasps overwhelm the ant's nest. It's a mass attack. Under the onslaught, green ants scurry to save their young. It's carnage. The battlefield is littered with the wounded, the dying, and the dead.
All either colony can do is pick up the pieces and start over again.
The wasps' superior airborne maneuverability and their preemptive strike on the ant's nest tips the balance. They overcome their assailants, but at enormous cost. Defeated, the green ants sound the retreat. Their bunker is torn apart. They scramble to salvage the surviving larvae. In a bug war of this magnitude, the refugees have no choice but to escape with their young, to start a new life in another part of the forest. In the bug world, there are many ways to kill. Some slay with weapons. Others with venom. But the deadliest of all may be the bugs with brains. When a Portia Spider takes on a long-jawed orb weaver, it's brains versus bite for the biggest prize, survival. In the rainforest, hunters don't come any smarter than this. A flair for strategy, a master of disguise. The name is Spider. Portia Spider, licensed to kill. Portia is a specialist assassin. She prefers other spiders. And her 8 all-seeing eyes can pick them off in all sorts of conditions.
The eyes have different functions. The eyes on the side are very attuned to movement. A jumping spider can see 360 degrees. The front huge eyes are essentially recognizing contrast and discriminating distance. Combination of these different eyes, they just have superb vision.
Portia is also a mistress of camouflage. Tufts of brown and white hair all over her body, thick brushes on the top of her legs, and thin lower leg segments make her look like forest debris. It's the perfect cover for ambushing prey. And when it comes to the kill, she has all the equipment a stealthy assassin needs. Fangs that deliver lethal venom, and mouth parts that flood the victim's body with digestive enzymes, so it can be dissolved, ground up, and sucked in as a liquid lunch. But Portia is armed with another weapon you can't see.
Portia are incredibly intelligent spiders. What Portia seems to do is locate its prey, figure out where it is, approach it from a number of different angles until it's in an optimal hunting position.
She's also a master deceiver. She doesn't just look like leaf litter, she acts like it.
They will pluck on webs that indicate that just a little debris has fallen into the web. And so the spider may come up to the web, try to remove the debris, only to be attacked.
You don't mess with a fine-tuned killing machine unless it has a weakness. And this is the arch-villain who could find it. A stay-at-home hunter and a high-wire walking warrior. The long-jawed orb weaver.
The orb weaver's web is laid out like a circular grid with lines radiating out from the center. The spider will sit in the center, and from there it can get to any point on the web very fast, and those long legs just enhance their speed.
The orb weaver lies in wait. A silent ninja poised to strike.
Orb weavers have 3 little claws at the end of each leg, and while they're sitting on the web, they're monitoring every little vibration.
Each movement means something. A puff of wind, a falling leaf, or what the skillful hunter is really waiting for, a trapped insect.
Sensing vibration is far more important to these guys than seeing things. In fact, vision doesn't really play a role at all in their hunting strategy.
When this 8-legged ninja strikes, it's lightning quick. But no throwing stars here. Just 2 long, razor-sharp fangs. Perfect for turning prey into shish kebabs. The orb weaver's long body is also superbly camouflaged. Stretched out in the middle of the web, it could be a stick. The fly obviously thought so. Now, wrapped in those deadly jaws, it's not thinking much at all.
The long-jawed spiked chelicerae effectively perform the same function as the raptorial arms of a mantid. They help grab onto the prey, hold it, and tear it apart.
Nearby, the Portia Spider is figuring how the orb weaver could become her next meal. A lethal assassin versus a deadly ninja. Only one will survive. In the peaceful surrounds of the lush rainforest, a camouflage specialist stalks a larger-than-life arch-villain.
Portia's a camouflage spider. They look like a piece of debris, and that's all there is to it. They don't look like a spider walking along. They don't look like a predator, and they don't feel like a predator.
Portia has devised a plan of attack. She starts snipping the long jaw's silk lines, clearing a jumping path for a view to kill.
The Portia has done such a good job of tricking the longjaw that it is oblivious to the threat, even as its back to it.
Portia keeps snipping. One stray line in the path of her jump, and the diner could become the dinner. With the lines clear, she moves into position. fatal kill. As the venom-filled fangs plunge into the orb weaver's body, what took more than an hour of scheming and preparing is over in a moment. Portia venom is unusually potent, especially to spiders. As the deadly cocktail courses through its body, the long jaw is paralyzed, then eaten.
You know, it's no surprise that this Portia won. Long-jawed spider, unless it escaped fast, was doomed. It isn't a spider hunter. Portia is a spider hunter. They're good at what they do. They're really smart. I don't think the long-jawed spider had a chance.
Like a professional assassin, Portia is ruthlessly efficient. And she's already planning her next kill. In the bug world, there's no such thing as a G-rated monster movie. On every blade of grass, on every leaf, on every tree, there's a killer plot just waiting to be played out. When a balloon-winged Katydid takes on a tree centipede, it's a battle of the bad guys, with only one winner. At first glance, it looks like a green leaf, swaying harmlessly in the breeze. But there's nothing harmless about the balloon-winged Katydid.
The simplest way to describe the balloon-winged Katydid is that it's a mobile leaf with razor-sharp jaws. It's an ambush hunter with a very straightforward attack strategy. Rush, grab, tackle, eat alive.
As a hunter, the balloon-winged Katydid has it all. Long antennae to detect prey and danger. Huge hind legs for jumping and kicking. But up front is the serious weaponry.
There are 2 rows of massive spines on the front 4 legs, and the balloon-winged Katydid basically uses them to pin the prey down in a spiked cage.
The hug that holds becomes the kiss that kills. A fellow Katydid is easy meat. Legs, wings, head, gone. But what will happen when this ambush hunter crosses paths with the freight train of the forest? This is a killer with a need for speed. A tree centipede that's as long as it is ferocious.
The tree centipede is in the group Scolopendra, and the Scolopendra are the largest of the centipedes. This one can be anywhere from 3 inches to 6 inches in size. This is a good-sized animal, about as thick as my thumb.
The tree centipede has 21 pairs of pointy legs to grip any surface and any prey. Plus 1 pair of venom claws that plunge into its victims' bodies, injecting fatal neurotoxins.
Of all the animals in my lab, it's the centipedes that are the scariest animals because they can just climb all over the place, and they do it fast, and they've got a strong venomous bite.
It's a hyperactive carnivore with a big appetite. So a large katydid should be an easy snack, but don't count on it.
The blue-winged katydid isn't one to run away at the first sign of a predator. Remember, this is an animal that's used to winning fights.
What will happen when the prize fighter meets the runaway train? Of all the bugs in this habitat, these are two of the baddest.
A lot of katydid species are herbivores or omnivores, but this species specializes in eating other living animals. He'll have a go at anything his own size.
A centipede is really not an animal that any other arthropod wants to encounter. Heck, it's an animal that a whole lot of vertebrates wouldn't want to encounter.
Tonight, the balloon-winged katydid is out looking for dinner. So is the tree centipede. And it's picked up a katydid's chemical signal. The centipede storms in, but stops. The katydid backs off. It's all the hesitation the tree centipede needs.
If it's a large prey item, they will literally wrap around. Their back end is capable of holding on to the prey, so they're both wrapping and grabbing with front and back end. Powerful animal.
With one trademark blow from its venom claws, the centipede delivers the knockout.
The tree centipede is venomous enough that it has a big effect on essentially anything that it bites, everything from invertebrates to vertebrates. It's a strong, potent venom.
The katydid is alive, but helpless. Its savage mandibles and spiky legs are useless. The centipede's powerful jaws now go to work. Ripping, tearing, feeding.
Centipedes are voracious predators. By the time she's finished with this katydid, there's nothing left.
In Hollywood, the underdog often wins. But when Mother Nature's writing the script, there's usually a sting in the tail. In the bug world, there's just one way to earn your stripes. That's by staying alive and making sure your victims stay dead. When a badge huntsman faces off against a spider-hunting scorpion, it's a head-to-tail battle. The badge huntsman is a running, climbing master of one-on-one combat. Equally at home on the ground and among the grass. It's the commando of this forest, and it has the stripes to prove it.
Badge huntsmen are really attractive huntsman spiders. They've got this gorgeous patch on its belly that's black and sometimes purpley colors. When they're defending themselves, they'll rear up their legs and show the bands on their legs.
Every badge huntsman species has a unique pattern, mimicking an all-seeing eye. The war paint makes them look big and mean. They're also built for speed.
They have essentially rotated their legs from this posture in most of the spiders into a sideways posture. The movement of these legs and the changing of the joints means that they're able to move very rapidly side to side.
Blindingly quick, badge huntsmen chase down their prey in any part of the forest.
The badge huntsmen are very, very fast spiders. The underside of their legs are covered with something known as scopula. These act as suction cups so that they can essentially walk upside down anywhere.
When they attack, they inject a toxic cocktail with 2 super sharp fangs. The venom first paralyzes, then triggers cell death. These poison darts mean the badge huntsman is not afraid to take on bigger opponents. This Katydid is about to be toast. Actually, once those digestive juices go to work, it's more like a green smoothie. But fancy badges don't cut it with these guys. Spider hunting scorpions. And they've been around the block a few times.
Scorpions outlasted the dinosaurs. They outlasted the Neanderthals. They've made it through every form of climate change imaginable. The reason is that they're incredibly adaptable and very skilled predators.
Fast on its feet, a tough armored shell, the spider hunting scorpion is a small, mobile fighter with a long reach.
The pinchers are an effective weapon because they're very long. This gives a scorpion a really good reach, making it difficult for another animal to get close without being grabbed and stung.
With claws that grab and a stinger that delivers paralyzing venom, it's a stealthy nocturnal hunter, an all-night diner with an appetite for fresh spider. Two forest killers are about to face off. Tooth and tail.
What I would suggest that this huntsman spider do is approach it from the back end, grab the tail so it can't sting it, and bite the tail, and then I would back off.
It's an old-fashioned duel, but there's no code of honor. This will be a duel to the death. It's midnight in the forest as two killers face off. Each waiting for the other to make a move. The spider opens with a sidestep, but the scorpion grabs its leg. The wound is a badge of courage for this huntsman.
There's a predetermined juncture in most spiders where they're able to lose the legs, and there is a sphincter that closes off so the spider doesn't bleed to death.
But she's not the only spider prowling in the forest tonight. Another huntsman comes along, flashing its badge. But after tasting spider flesh, the scorpion's keen for more. Now it's back for a kill. The badge huntsman will attack with lightning speed, and hypodermic fangs. The spider killer grabs first and tries to land a death blow. But the huntsman fends off the stinger with its long legs, hoping to sink in its fangs.
When the scorpion gets into a difficult tussle, uses his pincers and his tail like a wrecking ball, just throwing them around, hoping to knock the prey off their feet, and if they stumble, bang, they get in a sting.
The wrecking ball overcomes the commando and lands a clean shot to the back of the badge huntsman's head.
The scorpion's venom acts very, very quickly on the prey. It's like a flow of burning acid through the body. Starts shutting down the vital organs and the nervous system. Once the venom's in the bloodstream, it's good night and don't come back.
No need to hurry this meal. Meat always tastes better if it's hung. The scorpion feasts on its victim's body. A once proud badge of honor is trash on the forest floor. The animal world teems with monsters that crawl and fiends that fly. But some of the strangest and most savage beasts on the planet do their dirty work underwater. When a hard-shelled freshwater crab and a slimy tiger leech bump heads, there are no soft options. Both creatures live and feed in the same pond. But that's where similarities end. Both have the will and the weaponry to fight to the finish.
This pond is simply amazing. It's packed full of life. It has the crabs, it has leeches, it has small freshwater shrimp. It's got fishes, it's got all sorts of insects living in it. It's an entire active ecosystem. And one of the issues with this sort of a gorgeous little ecosystem is that everyone in this pond runs the constant risk of becoming someone else's dinner.
The freshwater crab is a shameless scavenger, feeding on the recently dead or anything too weak to fight.
They'll eat small fish, they'll eat small invertebrates, they'll eat other small crustaceans, they'll eat a little bit of plant material, they'll eat essentially anything that they can get.
Like a knight in shell-hard armor, the freshwater crab's body and legs are safe from all but the most extreme assault. Even her eyes retract on stalks, folding in like car side mirrors for safety. And serious trauma, like losing a leg, doesn't mean game over.
Look at this crab. It's missing a leg, it's missing a foot, but it's an arthropod. And because it's an arthropod, it's able to regenerate the leg next time it sheds its exoskeleton.
Food is always fair game, even when someone else is chewing on it. But the freshwater crab's major weapon is its claws.
And it's with these claws that they're able to do everything. They can grab prey or potential predators. They can tear things apart. They can move rocks around. They can dig burrows. They do courtship, waving their claws to the females. They can do whatever they want to do.
When it comes to defense, crabs are the tanks of the underwater world.
Crabs have a number of defensive options. One is that they've got these really strong, relatively powerful claws. In addition, they're covered with a very hard exoskeleton. They move quite well and can be relatively fast, zipping out of the way.
Sharing the freshwater pond is a devastating opponent. The Tiger Leech. It doesn't feed on the dead. It sucks life from the living.
The Tiger Leech is an aquatic vampire that actively seeks out its victims. But instead of using fangs, it has 3 jaws that it makes a Y-shaped incision and then sucks the life out of them. The leech breathes through the walls of its body by means of gas exchange, so as long as the water is well oxygenated, it can stay submerged for as long as it likes. These guys are very capable swimmers. They're like an eel crossed with a slinky, and once they latch on, the anaconda in them comes out. They really are little monsters.
Tiger leeches are relentless. The posterior sucker attaches to their victims with an almost unbreakable grip. Up at the head, the anterior sucker does the real damage. It's all mouth, with tiny razor-sharp jaws.
Once they bite a prey, they hold on with a combination of suction and mucus. They also inject an anti-clotting enzyme to keep the wound from closing up and slowing down their feeding.
Contrary to popular belief, not all leeches are bloodsuckers. Some extract a whole range of bodily fluids.
Leeches can ingest several times their body weight while feeding off another creature. While this might not be dangerous for a larger animal, for a smaller one, this is lethal, but slow enough that they're fully aware of what's going on.
If an opponent goes on the attack, the tiger leech has a truly bizarre way of defending itself.
The tiger leech's best defense is its slime. Its body is actually very difficult for another creature to get a hold of because the mucus it extrudes makes it a very slippery customer.
That's bad news for the tiny freshwater crab. But it does have the weapons to fight back.
Tiger leeches are a tough competitor for these crabs. The leeches are strong and muscular. They're kind of slimy. They're able to move around pretty well. However, if the crab is able to grab it with its claw, it's perfectly capable of cutting it in half. The problem is that the leeches are relatively hard to grab.
This is a soft, squishy creature versus a well-armed, hard-shelled animal. I think the leech is quite capable of bringing the crab down without getting cut to pieces by the claws.
When a flesh-sucking leech fights a sharp-clawed crab, one is destined for Davy Jones' locker. Two pond dwellers are about to engage in a fight to the death. One is a flesh-sucking leech, and the other, a hard-shelled crab.
The crab shell is tough, but the leech's jaws and teeth can cut through it like a diamond-tipped saw.
That's if the crab doesn't cut the leech in two. It's feeding time in the pond, and any creature is fair game. The crab backs off. But the leech is back. It searches for the crab's Achilles heel. And finally finds access to the soft flesh. The jaws clearly visible. The leech starts to suck the crab dry from the inside.
This is bad news. The crab is able to defend itself really well in the front of its body, but behind, it can't get its pinchers. It can't get its legs behind it.
And if that's bad news, there's worse to come. Leeches have chemosensory organs, and they've detected a crab in trouble.
The scent of the crab's blood in the water is like a homing beacon for the pond's other leeches. They're gonna do everything they can to join the party, and the more that are on board, the less chance the crab has of fighting free.
Another tiger leech joins the feeding frenzy. It latches on. The crab grabs with its claws, but the leech is covered with slimy mucus and slips out of the crab's grasp. The claws have dispensed with one leech, but now they're gummed with slime. Undisturbed, the remaining leech sucks the life out of the crab.
When the tiger leech drilled through the crab's carapace, the crab began losing all its fluids.
Emptied of its body fluids, the crab draws its last breath and is consigned to a watery grave. In a monster bug war, clever tactics triumph over superior firepower. Battle know-how overwhelms defensive display. Infiltration foils the finest defenses. And maneuverability gives you the edge in a mass attack. When bugs go to war, you fight smart or die.